Monday. I think it's a Monday. You know it's a Monday. When we're just trying to climb up that hill, we're trying to get through to the next moment. We are live. Your marriage is on the rocks. You're thinking about some other person, and it works out better anyway. You're convincing yourself that this is the 100% right thing to do. Stick around. This week's song is about mending broken marriages through the love of God. This, the Song of the Week's title and lyrics, and a 5-song concert. Monday Drumroll starts now. We are live. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Church Prep with MWD Monday Drumroll. I am Mark W. Douglas, the one, not the only. Let's start things off with a prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. Amen. All right, let me make sure that we're good. We're on, we're live. Good. Happy Monday, drum roll. In just a moment, we'll introduce the next Song of the Week's title and lyrics. But I got to do a little housekeeping from just a couple, like I try to do sometimes, just to make sure that I'm on the right track considering the past episodes. And so we're going to do that right now. I had mentioned that I would talk about a place for people to go when we were on Your Recovery is Just a Moment Away. We were talking about addictions, which was non-substance addictions, and I did find a website here, Action Center for Social Media Addiction. I'm sure they deal with other things as well. Action Center, addictioncenter.com. Addictioncenter.com. Social media addiction is a behavior addiction that is defined by being overly concerned about social media, driven by an uncomfortable urge to log in or use social media, and developing so much time and effort to social media that it impairs other important areas of your life. You know, in my mind, think about it, just an hour, right? And this is, again, talking to me. I'm always talking to me here. Imagine just having such a problem within yourself, just 1 hour. I just think about 1 hour. You used to say, well, I mean, I'm spending a lot more time than that. Yeah, your screen time would show you. So I just say, even if it's an hour, just think of what you could have done with that hour. Walk 1.5 miles, 2 miles. I mean, we could go on. The list goes on. So the social media addictioncenter.com, and it's 833. The phone number is 833-652-1713. Excuse me. I'll say it again, 833-652-1713. And so I just wanted to clean some house on that. And as a matter of fact, as an addendum to that, I found a great article that I'd like to share from Harvard Business Review and Sarah K. Peck. She wrote this back in 2018. Now think about this. At the end of the article, she was talking about how the iPhone and Apple were rolling out screen time. So, this is 5 years ago. We've had screen time on our phone. You just go to the search bar on your phone and look up how much screen time you've been having each week. But she ran 4 experiments to break her social media addiction, and here's what worked. Her first experiment was a complete removal of social media sites for 30 days. Okay? And she removed Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn for 30 days. And so that's hard to do, complete removal, right? And she logged out of every site and deleted all the apps on her phone. Then she used this thing called Freedom. It's a website blocking tool to restrict the social sites from her browser and phone. Finally, she had a partner take over the phone and install parental restrictions on the browser sites with a password unknown to me. Think about that. So when I'm talking here, I just want to say that this is not. We have adults now. You know who you are. We have adults now that are in essence behaving like children. Can't even get up out of, getting up and down and moving around, and that's a thing of the past. Watching Oprah, or Oprah's not on anymore, but one of these shows in the evening, watching one of these shows and being addicted to the shows, that's not even a problem anymore because you're on social media. But think about that. Just think about it. And so, one of the things I want to do with this show is just bring us back to reality. I want to pull you back out of the matrix, okay? Out of this blob of constantly having to have some type of social interaction, some type of entertainment, some type of a joke. Give me more dopamine. I'm addicted to the laughs, right? Again, I'm talking to myself. I'm addicted to, give me the next thing. I'm scrolling. I need to, give me the next truth. Maybe you're looking for truth? Her experiment number 2, carving out daily time blockers. I wanted to learn whether or not I could limit, but not eliminate social media and have equally effective results. This experiment involved a daily restriction on websites based on the known tired times I'd identified in the first experiment. For 2 weeks, I limited social access across certain periods of the day using the blocking app like Freedom. It's called a Freedom. Okay. I allowed social sites on my computer in the afternoons only, not in the mornings or after dinner. I also blocked all news websites, television sites, and installed Newsfeed Eradicator for Facebook, a social plugin that helps prevent the scrolling nature of the news feeds. Very interesting. Her results? Keeping the morning social media and news free was a game changer. I got so much more done on my biggest projects by having dedicated, focused hours and also knowing that there was a scheduled break in my day coming up. Now remember, what are we trying to carve out here? Of course, we want you to be productive with your work. We want you to go to work. I want you to go to work. I say we, I'm talking like me and JC over here. Me and JC, we're trying to help you out. But really, are we trying to carve out something else besides just the work? Of course, friends, family, the things that God has already given you as a job to do, take care of those things. But what about the thing we're trying to carve out for that God has given you, the gift? You know it, the gifts. Only you know them. Are you going to use those gifts for God? That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to find out where in this short day, repeated, where in this short day are you going to finally use the gifts that God's given you to better his kingdom? And so number 3, the experiment was social happy hour. She says, I tried, I tried dedicating a specific hour of my day, just 1 hour, completely for use on social sites. I set up a calendar invitation from 4 to 5 p.m., a happy hour at the end of the workday to connect, enjoy, and run across new people and ideas after nearly 12 hours of working or parenting. Results? Creating a built-in stress relief hour where I know that I can slide into social media research and browsing. The scroll helped me avoid temptation at other hours of the day. It was easier to replace a bad habit with a better one than to focus all my energy on eliminating the bad habit. It's very interesting that she is already honing in on the thing that's got you is the scroll. Next. Now, you're scrolling without even like saying, okay, when do I stop? When do I stop scrolling? Finally have to use the restroom, maybe? I don't know. Really got some good stuff here at the end here. Experiment number 4, 24 hours to break the cycle. One of my favorite methods for resetting my brain is taking a full weekend a day without my phone or my laptop, an idea I originally got from a person. Back when I used to train for triathlons and open water swims, Saturday were spent largely outdoors, and it's rather difficult to spend time scrolling a website while biking or swimming. So I used Freedom, which is that app, and a mesh Wi-Fi network to block the internet from midday on Friday evening until Saturday at 3 p.m. from all my machines. The result, having something to do, which is going on a hike, going to the beach, meeting friends for coffee, helps tremendously. Notice what she's also saying, like, I wouldn't have thought that going to the news scroll would be a problem. No, it's just news, right? It's just news. It's not like entertainment. She's saying I had to get rid of that too. It was wasting my time, wasting my life. Shifting from abstraction to addition, subtraction to addition. She shifted. So this is the summary of the 4 experiments. By and large, my first experiments were based on control and elimination. Sometimes instead of focusing on constriction and willpower. However, it's actually a better strategy to focus on one thing I want more of: more reading, more unplugged time with my family, space to think. One of the reasons diets don't work very well is because most of them focus on what you restrict rather than what you add, which is the exercise. My later experiments opened my eyes to the power of addiction. So here we go. This is the summary. Planning ahead for dedicated social time or a Saturday spent outdoors. Today I use Freedom, which is that app, to block social websites and news in the mornings nearly every day. I delete Facebook and email from my phone. Now listen to this part. I reinstall the Facebook app from 4 to 5 every day. That's that happy hour. And then I deleted them again every single day. She deletes the app, she reinstalls the app. So just so it makes her, there's no way she can find time to get on that Facebook app and mess around. And I track my usage with Rescue Time, which sends me an alert. Again, now you have, iPhone has this usage time right on it. So you don't need a special app for that. Pretty amazing. Without social media, many of us want to reduce our consumption. Okay, with social media, many of us want to reduce our consumption, but we miss an important piece of the puzzle. We're craving something that we want, and we think that social media has a quick answer. These experiments helped me realize that at the heart of my cravings around the social internet are deep connections with friends, access to new ideas and information, or time to zone out and relax after a hard day. So I would add, it's taking you away from your time with God, your connection and your relationship with Him, which only brings your other relationships better. In this case, in this week's focus is our spouse. Only brings your relationship with your spouse much more closer, much more real. As with many tools, it's not an all or nothing, good versus bad conversation. I will continue to experiment in the future, especially now that Apple has introduced screen time feature. Just because the apps aren't available doesn't mean our current default behaviors are the best way to use them to get what we want. By limiting my access to social sites, I created a pattern disrupt that allows me to reach out to more friends, read more books, and go deeper into the work that mattered. And that's that on that. So, I think we're at a time where, remember what we talked about with a drug. Let's say it's alcohol. 1 is too many and 1,000's not enough. That's 1 beer, 1 drop of alcohol. But with food, right? What if it's a food addiction? Well, you got to eat food. You can't just stop eating food. So that's not the same. And I feel like we're in a situation now in our world where these apps that's what we do to, it's not just social. I don't want to use the word social, but this is how we even can connect with our world now. It's how we learn what's going on in the news, if you want to call it the news, just even anything, the weather. You open an app and see what the weather is, right? So maybe it's part of what we're doing, It's just part of everything. So there has to be a balance. So I wanted to round that circle with everybody, and hopefully that helped a lot. So now it's time to introduce the next Song of the Week's title and lyrics. And you know what that means, Bert, are you out there? But yeah, Bert sent me another video. Let's see what you got.
It's now time for the Song of the Week.
It is now time for the Song of the Week. Thanks a lot, Bert. Man, I'll tell you what, you got style, don't you? As we take a look at the lyrics, I'm asking for your input for Friday's show. There will be shout outs for Friday's show. Please comment Bible verses where you believe I derived my lyrics. You can also comment with complimentary verses that support the lyrics. The number 7 Song of the Week is titled, I Am the Way. And here are the lyrics. We've made mistakes. We've had some breaks. I've burned it down. You've lost and found. We came around. I've made demands. You took your stands. And through the years, we've dried our tears and come around. And if it wasn't for the love he shared, if it wasn't for his peace and care, we would not have had the hope that he gave us when he spoke, I am the way. I said, I do. You said, it's true. We came to be 2 on a team. We came around. And if it wasn't for the love he shared, and if it wasn't for his peace and care, we would not have had the hope that he gave us when he spoke, I am the way. And I was singing, he is the way. And you were singing, he is the truth. And we were singing, he is the light. He is the way. Yeah, I was singing, he is the way. And you were singing, he is the truth. And we were singing, he is the light. He is the way. Oh, I was singing, he is the way. And you were singing, he is the truth. And we were singing, he is the light. He is the way. I am the way, I read to you. I am the truth, you read to me. I am the life. I am the light. I am the way. And if it wasn't for the love he shared, and if it wasn't for his peace and care, we would not have had the hope that he gave us when he spoke, I am the way. Woo! What a song. I can't wait to sing it. 15th song this Sunday. Can't wait to sing that to you all. All right, now, a lot of the most of the time, I would kind of go on to the 5-song concert, but I thought, man, this is going to be one heck of a week, and I don't want to jam everything into Wednesday and Friday. Of course, Wednesday is the story behind me writing the song, so I will get into that, exactly what it is and how it is that I came to write that song. Very great story. Do not miss Wednesday's show. And of course, Friday will be the Bible connections of the Bible that is infused into the words of that song. But today I want to just talk about marriage. And I thought about it because, as you may know, I'll let you know that for the last 13, I'm just now starting my 14th year, but the last 13 years I've been a wedding DJ. And boy, I've heard a lot of I do's. And of course, I've been married for the last 20 years to a wonderful lady named Sharon J. Douglas. And what a amazing 20 years that has been of learning and love and learning some more and love. And maybe I'll get into some of that too on Wednesday or Friday. But, so I just thought, I wonder what's going on with that divorce rate. I thought maybe I should look that up a little bit, because as you could tell from the words I just read of this song, this is really a song about staying together, right? Staying together. So I looked up the percentage. This is just for the divorce statistics for 2022. And it says here that approximately 40 to 50% of first marriages, meaning it's the first time, 40 to 50% end in divorce. So we might as well just say 45%. I thought it was a little bit higher, but maybe it's something. 40 to 50% end in divorce. And the divorce rate for the second marriage, so it's your second time around, I thought it would have been lower because you learn your lesson. No, it's even higher, with approximately 60 to 67% of the second marriages ending in divorce. I want to raise my hand here. Are you ready? I'm raising my hand. This is prior to my 20 years here on with this wonderful woman, Sharon. I was married prior, so I am one of those statistics for the first marriage ending in divorce. Very tough for me. I didn't want to, and Sharon as well. She didn't want to get back into another situation where, my goodness, we're just going to keep riding the different horses here and we're just going to keep on doing this. No, we're going to stick it through. We're going to try our best. We're going to make commitments to someone who I believe can commit back. And so let's go on and talk about what the Bible says about divorce. This is of anybody, I feel what it might be like to hear someone talk to me in an authoritative sort of way about this whole thing, divorce, right? It would make me a little uncomfortable if someone was trying to preach or teach to me who didn't really understand what I went through, the specifics, right? And can we be fair? This is fair. That maybe the preacher that's preaching about divorce has never been divorced, right? So I'm not a preacher, but I'm a person who has, right? So I want to soften you with that. I want to soften your heart and mind to at least the fact that that someone who's going to tell you these things and teach. I'm not trying to teach you. I'm just trying to open the Bible here and read it. Let's let the words of the Bible speak for itself, right? That you would have a soft heart to comprehend what I'm trying to say and what I'm trying to do. And of course, what are we doing on this show? Salvation and discipleship. I'm not going to apologize for trying to save people and trying to disciple people. It's all delicate, right? Talking about divorce, talking about what it's like to stay together, and not from a high horse perspective, but from someone who's been there and done that and has had tears to shed over that situation, and pain and agony and songs songs, not just these Christian songs, but just songs, breakup, hurt, pain, right? All right here on in my life on paper and in music and in melody. So I want to first soften your heart with that. And I just want to hit you with some verses that again, it's not really hard. There's not that many of them, but there are some here. And this is from the New International Version. When I was younger, I'm sure that there are other versions out, so I don't want to offend anybody on the version that I'm using. When I was coming up, that was the version that I always went to, and that's the one I'm using now. Matthew 5. This is when the Sermon on the Mount. This is in the middle of that thing, right? Talks about divorce. Sermon on the Mount. Matthew 5, verse 31, starting. It has been said, anyone who divorces his wife must give her a certificate of divorce. So he's talking about the past. Verse 32, but I tell you that anyone who divorces his wife, except for sexual immorality, makes her the victim of adultery. Yikes. And anyone who marries a divorced woman commits adultery. I just want to rehash a topic that I just keep coming back to because it is so true and so real. We, in this culture that we live in right now, we are living in a complete fantasy world compared to the world and the setup, the way we're supposed to be living and we're supposed to be. It is a culture unknown to the culture in the Bible. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, it's okay to be a progressive, but we got to be progressive, right? Yes, we grow and we build buildings and we, you name it. We go to the moon and we go to Mars, maybe, if you believe that. Again, not to step on anybody's toes. We progress is what I'm saying. We come up with, I was going to say vaccines. Just zip it, Mark, right? We come up with things to help us improve our lives. Have about that? We learn how to do elections. I just keep stepping on myself here. Let's see, what else have we gotten good at? Well, we've gotten good at a lot. Kind of jokey there, but I'm not. I'm trying to joke around a really sensitive issue. It's tough. But I think that is a recurring theme on this show is that you guys and I say this just again in a discipleship type of way is your brains are broken. Our brains are broken. I actually been meditating on this myself. So I know my brain's broken because I'm trying to understand the culture of America, this crazy culture, how far we've drifted from the basic tenets. And we could still do that in this day and age. We could still do all that, but people's brains would flip out if you said this to them. What I just read. But I tell you that anyone who divorces his wife except for sexual immorality makes her the victim of adultery, and anyone who marries a divorced woman commits adultery. That's in the New Testament. Are we supposed to ignore? That's in red letters. Are we supposed to explain that away? Jesus really didn't mean that. Come on. Explain that away. I didn't say it. I'm reading right here in Matthew 5. Right next, by the way, this is sandwiched right next to all the verses everybody always quotes. Look up Matthew 5 for yourself. You want to read the first couple verses and the last couple verses after, and then skip the middle verses? Don't do that. Stop it. Let's go to another one. We're actually on the next verse, verse 33. I wanted to bring this up because it talks about oaths. And I really find it interesting. The way that this is worded. It's always so perfectly worded, you know? Again, you have heard that it was said to the people long ago, do not break your oath, but fulfill to the Lord the vows you have made. But I tell you, do not swear an oath at all. Wait a second. Do not swear an oath at all, either by heaven, for it is God's throne, or by earth, for it is his footstool, or by Jerusalem, for it is the city of the great king. And do not swear by your head, for you cannot make even one hair white or black. All you need to say is simply yes or no. Anything beyond this comes from the evil one. So imagine that when you say yes, that is the oath. You don't have to swear. And when you say no, you mean no. I mean, that is amazing. So if you say you're going to do something, it's as if you have put your hand on the Bible. Did you mean yes? According to this, right? So what's the word that we hear at the weddings? Like I said, I'm DJ 13. I've seen 445 weddings. Yes. Do you, sir? Do you, madam? Do you take this this scoundrel right here? Do you take this Bonnie and Clyde, right? Yes. That's the oath. But it's not an oath. Not supposed to be an oath. It's just yes. Meaning, that's my word. It's everything. One word. Yes. Very cool there. Very cool. Ephesians 5. Here we go. Ephesians 5. You know this was coming. In the same way, husbands ought to love their wives as their own bodies. He who loves his wife loves himself. After all, no one ever hated their own body, but they feed and care for their body just as Christ does the church. For we are members of his body. For this reason, a man will leave his father and mother and be united to his wife, and the two will become one flesh. This is a profound mystery, but I am talking about Christ and the church. Whoa. How about that? Christ and the church. What does that have to do with man and wife? However, each one of you also must love his wife as he loves himself. And the wife must respect her husband. Each one of you must love his wife as he loves himself. I actually had a little bit of an epiphany this afternoon as I was preparing for this show. And the epiphany was very simple. Does my wife say I love you all the time to me because I'm not saying it enough to her? So I stopped what I was doing and I went over to her. Today was cleaning day. It was great. Around the house. And I put my hands on her shoulders and I said, I love you. And it was really special. And then I asked her, do you think there's a possibility that you say I love you all the time because you want me to say it back, or you're really, that's what you need? You need me to be more first person to say it. She was like, no. I thought she was going to say yes. It would have made it for a great story, right? It's just guys trying to figure out a woman, right? But maybe that's true in your case. And has she given up by saying she loves you? One of the hardest things, one of the truest things about a woman. And I've had lots of women in my life, 3 sisters, 4 daughters, a wife, of course, mom, grannies. One thing I do know, granddaughter, one thing I know for sure is that once they give up, it's over. There is no amount of effort or work to get them back. Once they give up, once a woman gives up, she's done. Once she gives up, she officially gives up. But a woman who means her vows and means to stay and means to work, and just like a man, right? They'll give it all they've got. But one thing about a woman, there is that point where it's too far gone. So I just wanted to insert that, just to reiterate here, women, you are supposed to be respecting the husband. And men, you are supposed to be loving your wife. And I'll tell you something, men. Like I was telling you about, let me just remind you. I know you may not watch every show of mine. I'm just going to remind you of something. I used to get over just sick of it with people that would say, I'm praying for you. Just over it. Just give me a break. Stop saying that. I know you're not praying for this. You hear it. You hear other people that are not even talking to you. You just hear it in a crowd. I'll be praying for you. Oh, I'm going to keep you in my prayers. Oh, you're on my prayer list. And I'm like, I don't know if I believe that. Matter of fact, I don't believe that. I think you just keep saying it. How do you remember all these prayer requests? Like, if you just went through one day in church, you hear all these things, and you're like, you didn't even write that down. Did you even write down the woman's name, the mother that's sick in the hospital? Did you even? Anyway, but then I realized from being a personal trainer that words, even though it may be nonsense, bullspit, right? It may be complete nonsense. Even those words, again, from being a personal trainer for 23 years now, words matter. As much as I don't want to accept it, the fact, because I'm an action, I want to see action. I want to see you get let's go with a set of 20 reps. I don't want to hear you think you did the 20 reps. I want to see you do the 20 reps, right? I want to see you do a squat and a pull down and a push up and all the things, right? And the sit ups. I want to see it. Let's go. Do 20. So in a kind of a weird, strange way, if I sound like at times that when I'm talking, if I sound like a drill instructor, I basically was a drill instructor without joining the armed forces for 23 years. Still do it, right? But sometimes words matter. I'm praying for you. There's something about that sticks. Oh, you're going to pray for me? Oh, wow. Oh. And then something happens. I can't explain it, but in that person's heart and mind, you've just touched them. Wow. They really reacted to that. Just like when I say, good job. Man, what a good job. After they get to the 15th rep, oh man, you're doing amazing. Oh God, look at this. Almost there. And the whole verbal thing. I wasn't doing the push-up with them. I wasn't doing the squat with them. But the whole verbal thing of affirmation and pumping them up, screaming in their ear, come on, 5 more, go, go, go. It did something to their psyche, and boom, they got 5 more. I'm just telling you, it works, even if it might be a total bullspit talking point. It works. So guys, saying I love you is awesome. Do the ritual. Just do it, right? You're having trouble? You don't know where to start? And you're blabbing. You're doing a lot of blabbing, but you're not doing the right kind of blabbing. Let's go. I love you. I love you. I know we're fighting right now, but I love you. I know you don't expect me to, you don't even believe it, but I'm telling you now, I love you. I'm trying to make this work. I'm in this fight with you. I know we don't see eye to eye, but I love you. Oh, you don't even maybe want to say it. Say it. Say it. Say it over again. Say it over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Do it. So, and I'm just kind of preaching to the men right now, but women, you're not going to like this next verse. I'm not going to lie to you, because this right here is going to maybe blow your mind. Again, we have to set this up with our current culture has lost their mind. Our current culture, the way that you know it, even from when I was a kid, we're not talking about the last 10 years. We're not talking about the last 20 years. We're talking, I'm 48. We're talking about our entire culture, the way that you know it and understand it, thanks to Oprah. It's totally off the rails, incorrect. And we're going to find out right here because we're talking about the New Testament. And Peter, on this rock I will build my church. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? 1 Peter 3, wives, in the same way, submit yourselves to your own husband. I know you know this part. Don't worry. We're getting to the good stuff. So that if any of them do not believe the word, they may be won over without words by the behavior of their wives. When they see the purity and reverence of your lives, your beauty should not come from outward adornment, such as elaborate hairstyles and the wearing of gold jewelry or fine clothes. Rather, it should be that of your inner self, the unfading beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which is of great worth in God's sight. No, I'm not there yet. I'm about to be there. For this is the way the holy women of the past who put their hope in God used to adorn themselves. They submitted themselves to their own husbands like Sarah. Here we go. We're supposed to, this is the New Testament, folks. Like Sarah. He's using the example. When I say for example, in my whatever it is, you ever hear somebody say for example? This is the example. Are you ready? Buckle up. Like Sarah, who obeyed Abraham and called him her Lord. You are her daughters if you do what is right and do not give way to fear. Look it up in your own version, 1 Peter chapter 3, verses 6. But the fact of the matter is that Sarah, he's using her as the prime tip-top example. She called, now you want to talk about respect? What else do you need? We're sitting here talking about respect. We're in the middle of this topic of respect. And how many times have you heard that story? Sarah called Abraham her Lord. Like I said, our culture, our brains are broken. Completely and utterly broken. Now, obviously, I don't know why I have to say it, but I'll say it because it's so obvious. This all comes with balance. Everybody knows that. The balance of the way it's supposed to work perfectly. This is so good because this is the purpose of this show is to find out where we're at compared to the way that the Bible sets it up. Whether you are a husband, right, a single young man, whether you are a wife or a single young lady, maybe you're about to get married, whether you're a child that's in the house that has to go underneath the authority of the parents, and where does the church line up? How does the church interact with this thing called the family versus the Bible and how the Bible set it up? Everything I just mentioned, including the church, how are you juxtaposing? How is it? What does it look like? Husband, wife, child in a home, Christian home. How does it mesh? How does it work? Juxtaposed. Can we put it on paper? Yeah, we probably could. Yeah, we probably could. Yes, we can. Okay, you can do that. You can do an inventory. Okay, it's not that hard. We could do that. So, again, touchy. Don't read that verse, Mark. Read all the verses except for that one. I do have a few more here. Husbands, this is verse 7, which is the next verse. Husbands, in the same way, be considerate as you live with your wives and treat them with respect as to the weaker partner and her heirs with you of the gracious gift of life, so that nothing will hinder your prayers. Again, our brains are broken. We think we can just pray to God at any moment in time and he's going to hear us the same. And I know this is me. He's going to hear us today, tomorrow, the next day. It's all equal. No, he's saying you do this or it's going to hinder your prayers. Wow. You're actually saying that I can do something that's going to offend God? Yes. I can do something that's going to make God not want to listen to my prayer? Yes. Not because I said it, because the Bible's saying it. Malachi 2, chapter 10. Do we not all have one Father? Did not one God create us? Why do we profane the covenant of our ancestors by being unfaithful to one another? It's talking about adultery. Judah has been unfaithful, a detestable thing that has been committed in Israel and in Jerusalem. Judah has desecrated the sanctuary the Lord loves by marrying women who worship a foreign god. As for the man who does this, whoever he may be, may the Lord remove him from the tents of Jacob, even though he brings an offering to the Lord Almighty. Another thing you do, you flood the Lord's altar with tears. You weep and wail because he no longer looks with favor on your offerings or accepts them with pleasure from your hands. You ask, why? It is because the Lord is the witness between you and the wife of your youth. You have been unfaithful to her, though she is your partner, the wife of your marriage covenant. Has not the one God made you? You belong to him in body and spirit. And what does the one God seek? ? Godly offspring. So be on your guard and do not be unfaithful to the wife of your youth. The man who hates and divorces his wife, says the Lord, the God of Israel, does violence to the one he should protect, says the Lord Almighty. So be on your guard and do not be unfaithful. I realize that this is a two-way street. All right. I realize that a man cannot, let's see here. Looks like we had a streaming error. Not really sure. Give me just a second, everyone out there. I've got a little notice on my deal here, and I'm not sure if I can. Okay, maybe we're still streaming, and that would be good. I saw that there was a streaming area on my computer, but let's keep rolling. It looks like we're on, and we're just going to keep rolling. I may have misplaced where my mind was going, but I do have one more verse. 1 Corinthians 7. But if the unbeliever leaves, let it be so. The brother or the sister is not bound in such circumstances. If the unbeliever leaves, let it be so. And so that's where people point to when they talk about abandonment. Being abandoned, right? But abandon, this is the only verse I could find about abandonment. And so this is basically saying if the person that's leaving is leaving for no good reason, that person is that person an unbeliever? Because why would you leave if you were a believer? It does not give the caveat. If the believer leaves, let it be so. No, it's if the unbeliever leaves, let it be so. It's hard to know. I'm going to leave that right there. The brother or the sister is not bound in such circumstances, meaning the brother in Christ, the sister in Christ. God has called us to live in peace. How do you know, wife, whether you will save your husband? Or how do you know, husband, whether you will save your wife? Nevertheless, each person should live as a believer in whatever situation the Lord has assigned to them. Mind blown. Why would the Lord assign you someone that's an unbeliever? Because if you read this in context, nevertheless, each person should live as a believer in whatever situation the Lord has assigned to them. That means that there's a possibility he could have assigned or predestined, if you want to call it that, you being in a relationship with an unbeliever. Sounds like that. Just as God has called them. This is the rule I lay down in all the churches. Okay, so we actually are at the end of what I had prepared for that. And I don't know what happened on my live stream, but we'll take a look and figure it out later. I've never had that problem. But you know what? There are glitches that happen. And I'm willing to make it work either way. So, fellas, ladies, this week, I'm going to really dig into a couple of things here. I'm not going to do it tonight. I think tonight that was good. That was a good paving of the way. And this is actually a great time, right? This is actually a great time. I'm not a biblical scholar. I'm reading straight out of the Bible. And there would be plenty of people who say, you don't know the context there and you're doing it wrong. And so that's okay. We're going to let you do that. But then you have to let me know. So in the comments or on the email, I have mwdhq.com on the connect page. Please send me an email and tell me what it is that I've gotten wrong. That would be wonderful, actually. Again, this is part of discipleship. You can disciple me and let me know where I'm wrong. I think the main point of this whole thing is where are you, right? Where are you in this roller coaster of marriage, right? I mean, let's get real. It is a roller coaster. It's ups and downs. Maybe you don't have any of that, and I mean, let's all stand up and cheer. It's a work, right? Especially in today's time when you've got, when I'm by myself, you've got the world saying you can have this behind door number 1. It's not even behind a door, by the way. It's just right there in front of you. And you can have this behind door number 2, and again, it's right there in front of you. Number 3, and you've got more than 3 doors, right? It's doing the same to your wife when she's, right? You don't think she's getting door number 1, 2, 3? And then there's all this like, okay, is my wife manipulating me? And then you got, worry and you got anxiety and maybe you have health problems on top of all this. Maybe you're having financial problems on top of all this. So you got financial and you've got health problems, and then and there's trust issues, and it's just compiling, and to the point you're going to explode. You go get therapy. You go talk to somebody about it. What if they're not helping? And what if they're not giving you godly advice like you should be doing, right? The godly advice that you hear it, and it feels good to hear somebody agree with you. But you know that they're telling you something that's not cohesive with what the word says. You know it, but you ignore that. Please do not ignore your inner self telling you, now I know that that's not in Scripture. You've got to listen to this thing in here, okay? Because that's the salvation that you got once upon a time. You've got to listen to that mind, to that voice, because that's the Holy Spirit going, The person across the table from you, this person, giving you therapy, I'm getting out of here. Oh yeah, it feels good to hear, they agree with me. Doesn't that feel good? If they don't agree with God, they don't agree with the Scriptures, you're in the wrong place. And how else do we get to the place in our nation? We could go way high, right? But in our home, in our self, in our family, in our church, in our community, in our state, in our country, we're finally up to. How else do we get to a place where we're telling ourselves the truth, the real truth, not just your truth, the truth? How do we get there? Well, it's spelled out in the Bible. It's all right there. It's just words right there. The words of God spelled out for you, ready to go. Boom. And so I'm just, this is going to be a great week of me, first of all, pleading with you to ask God for direction. I would love to say, pleading with you to stay together. However, there are moments, there are times, there are relationships that are absolutely, positively falling into the categories laid out in the Bible of abandonment, emotional, physical abandonment. And I would say in that one last little thing about, emotional abandonment. This is what we do on the divorce papers. What does it say? Irreconcilable differences. So that's the scapegoat out of everything I've mentioned tonight, whether it be adultery or someone being an unbeliever, which apparently Corinthians is saying this is what God had planned for you. And is it for you to bring that person into salvation? Maybe so. So I would want to say, make it work. Make it work. Push that round hole into that square peg. No, I don't want to necessarily say that. But I do want you to say, if you haven't completely tried from a godly foundation, spiritually and biblically foundation, from someone who's giving you therapy, you need to start over. I'm begging you to start over. That's what I'll be begging you to do. You might still end up in the same spot of giving up on this thing, but at least you're doing it from a different perspective and not this crazy worldly perspective that we have going on in America today of your truth, baby. Your truth. That's all that matters. Your satisfaction, your happiness. Since when? That's bad advice. So again, hit me up with an email and if you want me to pray for you, I will do that. I will do that. I will put you on a prayer list, and it will be for real. And you can connect with me again on the email at mwdhq.com. I realize that this is heavy, like everything that I'm talking about. Discipleship, making you into a better person. Yeah, I'm talking to you. If you've missed show 0, then you've missed the plot. I don't care how many people are watching this show. We're Christians here. They don't want to, nobody wants to push this show. And so when I'm doing this show right here, right? And I've written 120 songs and I'm slow releasing every one of them in a 3-year thing. None of that matters. All that matters is the possibility that I could change one person's life, that I could help one person become a better Christian, that I could help one person, and that's what God's told me to do. So I'm gonna obey. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. And that's what he expects you to do too. To work for him, okay? Be his vessel no matter what you get in return. Look at Job. Not only did he get anything at a certain point of his life, he was tested by God. God took it all away to see if he would still praise his Lord. And he did. He took his kids away. Gave him more, but he took their lives. Can you imagine? And you still give God the glory? It's insane. We should talk about Job one day. So let's talk about our 5-song concert. I have talked enough, and I still hope that we're on some kind of streaming service. If not, I'll take this video and I'll upload it to the webs and just publish it on a later note. So right now we are going to sing 5 songs like we normally do every Monday, every Wednesday, every Friday. 5 songs from the previous week, and it's always on Monday. The first song that I sing is going to be gone for whatever until I do special concerts. I think I'm going to do some special concerts around the holidays. So be ready for that. I should add now, if you're still with me, I should add now that guess what? Next week I'm out. The next week I'm out, and the next week I'm out for 3 weeks. I'm taking 3 weeks off for this amazing whatever holiday. It's kind of a holiday because we're going on vacation, winter break for me as a DJ and as a church prep with MWD. So I might do some special concerts here, and of course we'll be off for Christmas week too, but definitely for the next 3 weeks after this week. So here we go. The song that is being dropped on this Sunday jam, and it'll be the last time I play it for a good long while, 2 or 3 years. Romans 10. Did I have the right one on there? No, I didn't. Okay, so we're going in the right direction. We're going to sing 5 songs tonight, and here they are. Romans 10. I hate listening to this song. Bum, ba-dum, da-da-da-da-da. Bum, ba-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ba-dum, da-da-da-da-da. Bum, ba-da-da-da-da-da. It's my desire that you be saved, submitting to His righteousness. He is Christ, His perfection is the end of the law, 'cause He came for us all, and you don't need to go to the grave to find Him. With your heart you speak, He saves. And if you want to live forever with Him, you must believe and call out His name before men. Confess that He is your God, for He was, and He is, and forevermore shall be. And if you confess with your mouth and believe in your heart He was raised from the dead, if you call on the name of the Lord, you will be saved. Yeah. Ba-dum, da-da-da-da-da. Bum, ba-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ba-dum, da-da-da-da. Bum, ba-da-da-da-da-da. To live is Christ, and to die is gain. And we live because of grace. He is God, and He loves you. If you will only believe, you won't perish from the sin that has taken us over. He promised life everlasting. And if you want to live forever with Him, you must believe and call out His name before men. Confess that He is your God, for He was, and He is, and forevermore shall be. And if you confess with your mouth and believe in your heart He was raised from the dead, if you call on the name of the Lord, you will be saved. You say, Jesus, I believe You died for my sin, and I confess with my mouth, that You are my King, that You rose from the dead. So please remember me and Your kingdom, write my name in a book of life and set me free. 'Cause if you want to live forever with Him, you must believe and call out His name before men. Confess that He is your God, for He was, and He is, and forevermore shall be. And if you confess with your mouth and believe in your heart He was raised from the dead, if you call on the name of the Lord, you will be saved. He is Christ, the Son of the living God, and He reigns with the Father in heaven. He has gone to prepare a place for me, and will return in glory and majesty. Yeah, yeah. Ba-dum, ba-da-da-da-dum. Bum, ba-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ba-dum, ba-da-da-da-dum. Bum, ba-da-da-da-da-dum. Goodbye, Romans 10. The greatest commandment. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, and all your might. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, and might. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, and all your might. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, and might. This is the first commandment with love, and we should be willing to bend, to break, on a mend, all to love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, and all your might. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, and might. Well, love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, and all your might. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, and might. This is the first commandment with love, and we should be willing to bend, to break, to mend, all to. But seek ye first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all these things will be given to you. Oh, 'cause if you love, you know God, for God is love. We must follow and walk in His commands. Oh, for this is love. This is the first commandment with love, and we should be willing to bend, to break, to mend, all to. 1, 2, 3, 4. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, and mind. Well, love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, and all your might. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, and mind. Yeah. 2 down. Time for some wake up. I'm ready to go too. Waking up. Oh, little baby, sweet little baby, won't you wake up? I've been calling and you've been stalling. You don't want to wake up. Don't you know pride, baby, is driving me crazy. You won't give it up. But when your heart is tender, sweet surrender, that's when I'll lift you up. So wake up, and listen to this promise. Wake up, ask me anything and I'll do it. Oh, little baby, sweet little baby, won't you wake up? You think you're something, not asking me for nothing. You don't wanna wake up. Don't you know the trouble is gonna bust your little bubble? There's gonna be a shake-up. Yeah, if you'd stop crying, mama, say, help me, big papa. That's when I'll lift you up. So wake up, and listen to this promise. Wake up, wake up. Ask me anything and I'll do it with a little bit of faith. Oh, you can move your mountain with a little bit of trust in God. With a little bit of faith. Oh, you can move your mountain, yeah, with a little bit of trust in God. Yeah. So wake up, and listen to this promise. Wake up, ask me anything and I'll do it. Anything, I'll do anything. If only you would wake up. Just wake up. Come on, wake up. Oh, if only you would wake up. Yeah. Wake up, and listen to this promise. Wake up, ask me anything and I'll do it. If you abide in me and my words abide in you, all you gotta do is ask and I'll do it. Yes, I'll do it. Oh, so wake up, and listen to this promise. Wake up, ask me anything and I'll do it. Oh, little baby, sweet little baby, won't you wake up? That was 3 down, baby, 2 to go. We're having so much fun tonight. I am. I hope you are. Hopefully by now you're singing some of these songs with me. You or you. I didn't have a choice to love you. It was all I could do after you were you. You took me and cared just like a father. You helped the sun rise. You were you. You were you. Just a sinner. You were you when I lost my way. This life has brought me trouble on this search to find my way. But the one thing that was true, you were I didn't have a choice to need you. Even when I was lost, you were you. Love lifted, brought me to the water. Even though I cried, you were you, and I was just a sinner. Oh, you were you, and I lost my way. This life will bring me trouble on the search to find my way. But the one thing that was true, you were you. And when I was thinking of me and all I wanted, oh, you just made me a way. A way provided for me in my temptations. You were you. You were you. You were you. Oh, you were you. And I was just a sinner. You were you when I lost my way. This life has brought me trouble on a search to find my way. But the one thing that was true, you were you. You wrapped your arms around me, giving love to light my way. Yeah, the one thing that was true, you were you. All right. And making sure 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is believe. Let's go believe for the last one tonight. Let's go. If you are thirsty, come unto me. If you are hungry, come unto me. If you call my name, you will see. I'd give anything if you believe that I alone am your protector. Oh, I alone am your guide. I alone will give you the strength you need to come on home. If you believe, will you believe? Are you needing shelter? Come unto me. Broken and weary, come unto me. If you call my name, you will see. I'd give anything if you believe that I alone am your protector. Oh, that I alone am your guide. I alone will give you the strength you need to come on home. If you believe, will you believe? Believe in a higher power that takes away the sin of the world. Do you believe? Will you believe? If you have a burden, give it to me. If you want forgiveness, ask it of me. If you call my name, you will see. I'll give anything if you believe that I alone am your protector. I alone am your guide. I alone will give you the strength you need to come on home. If you believe, will you believe? I alone am your protector. I alone am your guide. I alone will give you the strength you need to come on home. If you believe, will you believe? If you believe, do you believe? If you believe, believe. It would be a miracle if this thing's back on. Well, maybe we could turn it back on. Let's see. All right. What a fun show tonight. Definitely gone over. Appreciate the few of y'all are still around. Thank you for hanging out with me. We are going to do some summation here. Great. Want to learn more about this show? Want to learn more? Check out the description. I put a bunch of stuff down in there. I ask for you to join the conversation in the comments, like this video, and subscribe to this channel. Share these show links with your friends and family. Join me as I prep you for church and explore the significant meanings enveloping salvation and discipleship. We did a lot of that tonight. Strengthen your walk with God. Get inspired to be a better son, daughter, father, mother, granddad, grandmother, neighbor, friend, leader, and follower. Could you be better at any one of those? I think you could. I know I can. Emailing your story and providing feedback is equally important. What's your reaction? Does your personal story connect with mine? How does it relate to what you're going through? As I share my triumphs and struggles, I'd like to hear yours. I have 2 questions for you tonight. I'm actually going to maybe change this first question just a hair. Have you challenged someone today, if not yourself? And part B on that is, has God challenged you today? And number 2, have you also coupled that with encouragement? Should I ask God, have you coupled that challenge with encouragement? I bet he has challenged you today if you'd listen. But we should explore that. Let's put this into practice right now. Which of the following statements could you share with someone or absorb right now? Here we are. I believe in you. I want to help you. I've been praying for you. I was wrong. I'm sorry, and I want to make amends. Please forgive me. From my heart and soul, thank you. I sincerely love you. God loves you. God is patiently waiting for you. God has a daily purpose for you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining my church prep family, #church prep. I'll see you live Wednesday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern. To God be the glory.